here we are inside of Success Secrets. I am your host, Lachelle Weemy, and I am so stinking excited to see you guys. Now, here it is, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that's usually about the time that I'm starting to wrap up my day and get ready for the nighttime. But I gotta tell you, I am so excited to be here tonight because I am recognizing so much that there are people in my life that I care about that are struggling, that they are not getting as fast of traction in their businesses as they want. They know that they have this gigantic impact in the world to make through their business, and they're feeling stuck. And it's like, you know what? Let's just help each other get out of our own sticking way, right? Let's help each other rise up to the challenge of whatever it is that we have in our hearts to do. Let's help each other prove what we are capable of. Can I get an amen? Like, how exciting is that? So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to kick off day number one of the Success Secrets Masterclass. And tonight, I am going to kick off the very first number one mistake that I see people doing over and over again that's impacting their progress in their business, is impacting the speed in which their business is progressing. And I cannot wait to dive into that. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do mistake number two. And then Thursday, I'm going to do mistake number 3. And I would love so much to, first of all, welcome you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be fire. If I can, feel it from you guys, like I want to see some fire emojis. I want to see some evidence that you're excited to be here, because that's going to keep me going tonight. And it's going to keep this exact momentum and this all of the energy alive, right? So let's interact with one another. If you are tuning in right here inside of the Better Club, I want to thank you for being here inside of my tribe of people who want to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business. Woot woot. Can I get a shout out for all my Better Club members who've been here for a while? And I want to say welcome to all of you guys who are brand spanking new to our community. It is such a gift to surround myself with other impact-driven entrepreneurs who have this big, giant, amazing heart and this fire inside of their belly that they knows that they're being called for more. And we allow ourselves to rise up together. We allow ourselves to become the best versions of ourselves so that we can do all of the things that are necessary to make this dream life happen and to make the biggest impact happen. And then because we do that, we can have the life of our dreams. We can have the life that we've always imagined for ourselves. We can give like we've never given before. We can live like we've never lived before, all because we show up as the best versions of ourselves and do the darn thing that's required for us to do it so we can have the life of our dreams. And if you guys are needing that sense of community, you are in the right place. So if you are also tuning in from all of the other places that I'm streaming, and this is going out on regular Facebook, this is going out on YouTube, this is going out on LinkedIn. So if you guys are part of all of the periphery, I want to say welcome as well. And if you want to get inside this intimate conversation, because I can only see comments from the people inside the Better Club. So come on over inside the Better Club, and we will love to welcome you there. My assistant for tonight is Jamie, and Jamie is amazing, you guys. She is on fire for life as well. Like, I've seen so much amazing transformation in her recently, like, gives me goosebumps. And she's going to be here to facilitate this entire evening, as well as the remainder nights of the challenge or the masterclass. And so I just wanted to say thanks, Jamie, for being here tonight. Now, you guys, I want to just kind of do a little bit of housekeeping before we dive into the meat of this program tonight. And I want to just tell you a couple things. Number one, again, like, thanks for being here, right? And investing in yourself. The time that you're investing in yourself right now is going to come back to you tenfold if you're willing to really dig deep and to listen to what I'm trying to tell you and to implement what I'm asking you to do. And there's going to be a reward for you. So you're going to want to tune in to the very end of this, where I can give you this great surprise of what that reward could be for you doing everything that I'm encouraging you to do today. Okay. So don't log off too fast. Okay. All right. The second thing I want to tell you is that I know how stinking busy you guys all are. I get it. Oh my goodness. Like, I just got back from this amazing 2-week dream vacation across the country with my family. Like, I get what it feels like to want to unplug for a while. Or now that I'm playing catch up when I'm back, I'm like, I get the overwhelming to-do list that you have. And so I am not completely ignorant to the fact that you guys are busy. So I am going to make sure that you guys have access to the replay for this entire masterclass that's going to be up inside of Guide 2 here in the Better Club through Monday. All right. So I'm giving you the entire weekend to catch up if you need to, but I'm going to give you a little hint. All right. So I'm going to speak the truth in love to you. And those of you guys who've been following me for a while, you know that I love you enough to tell you what you need to hear, sometimes not what you necessarily want to hear, right? But it's always wrapped up in this giant hug. And I'm just going to tell you that if you make a commitment to yourself to tune in when these are dropped live, when I show up live, it is going to, number one, tell your subconscious and your conscious that you're taking this seriously, that you're taking your business seriously, you're taking yourself seriously. And it's that extra piece of accountability. If I have something on my calendar and I know I need to do it at a specific time, it's more likely to get done than if it's just I need to do that someday kind of thing, right? So there is a reason, very specific reason that I'm doing this as a live launch, because I want to give you guys that extra encouragement to show up for yourself. And I want to see you in action. I want to see you be able to digest and implement the things that are going to change the trajectory of your business. And so show up as much as you can live and access the replays if you have to, or access the replays if you just need to repeat. Maybe you need to hear something again. Maybe you don't want to have to concentrate on filling out your workbook. Maybe you would rather just, listen and then go back to the replay. That's totally cool too. So they're going to be up through Monday. Okay. So generously leaving all that up for you because I get it, right? Now, if you guys are like me and you're like, I don't want to lose out on something. Like I have this FOMO thing where I feel like I don't want to miss out on things. Now, even though all of the replays are going to be live inside of Guide 2 through the weekend, through Monday, the 3rd of July, I am going to give you guys an opportunity to get access to my VIP program. The VIP program gives you all kinds of cool things. So number one, you get lifetime access to all the replays of this. Number two, you get the answer key to the workbook. So I'm going to have you guys tune it in and fill in things out to keep you engaged tonight and the rest of this masterclass. But I also want to give the people that are really just dying to have all of the answers so that they know they have it all right, the access to do that, right? And my favorite thing, my favorite part of the VIP option is that you guys as VIP will have access to my Reverse Engineering Your Financial Goals live workshop that I'm going to be hosting next Monday, the 3rd of July. Okay. Now here's the deal. It is the first time that I've ever done this live workshop, and it is the only way you can access this. So you will have the ability to join me live where I'm going to help you reverse engineer your financial goals. Maybe it's that you are trying to bust out of your full-time career and you're like, Lachelle, I don't know what it's going to take for me to be able to replace my income and what steps I need to take. That's what this is for. Maybe you just you're feeling some stagnant energy in your business and you've been plateauing a little bit. Maybe if I can help you dream a little bit and have something big to go after. Maybe it's a trip. Maybe it's, buying something or getting a new house or a car. And I can help you reverse engineer that. So we're going to get really clear on where you are. We're going to get really clear on where you need to be. And then I'm going to help you digest what it is that you have to do to get there. And it's only available inside the VIP. So if that is something that you guys want access to, it's $27. Like, you guys, for real. I'm not even doing it to make money. The only reason that I have a price tag on it is to hold you accountable so that you actually do the dang thing. Because sometimes when we don't pay attention. And so I slapped on this very, very reasonable $27 price tag for the VIP option so that you have access to the replays for lifetime. You get access to the answer key. And then, of course, most importantly, you get access to the exclusive Reverse Engineer Your Financial Goals live workshop. You'll also get the replay for that if you can't join me live, but you only can get access to that in the VIP option. So if you want the VIP link, just go ahead and comment VIP in the comments, and Jamie will make sure that you guys get that link for that. Okay. So don't stress. All right. The last housekeeping thing that I have for you is that I want you to recognize that the workbook is meant to help facilitate your learning, and it's meant to help you pay attention. So there is a workbook that you would have gotten if you registered for this masterclass. All right. Now, if you have not registered for the class, don't stress out. I want you to just, number one, if you're not inside the Better Club, I want you to go to Facebook, search Better Club in the groups, and then I want you to join me. Okay. And then we'll make sure that you get access to the workbook. The other thing that you can do is just type in comments here inside the Better Club so that I can get that workbook to you. So just type in workbook and Jamie or myself will get that to you. So do not stress. But in the meantime, grab a piece of paper and a pencil and let's get ready to start learning together and to get into action. Like, how fun is this going to be, right? So I really think that in order for us to get started and to make the biggest impact for you, I feel like it's only necessary that I give you some backstory, right? Some of you guys have been following me for a long time. I've been in social media now for almost 7 years. I've been slowly but surely getting out of my comfort zone day after day, week after week for years now. And you might have been following along and seen a massive transition between who I was and who I am just by following along. But maybe you are brand spanking new to this whole concept. And I want to just kind of give you guys a little backstory to who the heck you're listening to and why you should even pay any attention. All right. So I got to tell you, one of the most pivotal moments that I had in my life was last September when I made the big, scary, courageous decision to leave my 20-year anesthesia career to go after my entrepreneurial dreams. And you guys, before that day, before that moment, before that decision, I felt stuck. I felt stuck. I had been in business for several years, growing my online business alongside of my busy anesthesia career. At one point, I was even a professor, and I was crazy busy, and I was tired, and I was burnt out, and I was juggling all of the things. 2 kids, a husband that coaches. Sometimes his hours were super long during those seasons. Like, you guys, I get it. Right? But I saw the vision. If you guys can like give me some interaction, like if you know in your heart that there's something more, there's something bigger, there's something that you know is on the horizon, you just maybe haven't seen it yet. Like, that's where I was when I was introduced to my very first online business. I never knew that the and life was possible. I didn't know that there was a way for me to be challenged and fulfilled and really just see what I was capable of and be a more present mom and wife. I didn't know that that was possible. I was stuck in my operating room for long days. I loved my job as a nurse anesthetist, but honestly, I had very little control over when my day ended, depending on how long the surgery went. I had a very difficult time getting time off. And if there was something that came up last minute, it was pretty much a guarantee no. And so I was really struggling and I felt really trapped, but I saw the vision. I saw the and life. I saw what it could be, right? And so here I was working, my full-time career alongside of my business and my family life. And I was desperate, like in the sense that like, I just knew that this was for me, but no matter what I was doing, you guys, I couldn't quite get there because here's the thing. I didn't have any more time. My days in the operating room were long and very unpredictable. So I couldn't necessarily schedule things and meetings and client stuff after work. I had very little time off, very little vacation days. And those vacation days were planned 1.5 years in advance. And so I knew I didn't have any more time. And I had been trying to go part-time within the department since 2008, you guys. It is 2023. So let's just be real. It wasn't happening. And I finally made this last effort to HR. I'm like, hey, is there anything that I can do to help get myself closer to this half-time position? Because I knew in my heart that my business was needing my full attention. And they're like, we totally sympathize with you, but we can't help you. Oh, you guys, like I felt like this giant door closed. But sometimes when the doors close, the right opportunities can open. And that's what I wanted to help you guys see tonight, is that the right opportunities are opening for you right now. The right opportunities, the right thing, the right lesson, the right person is literally right around the corner. And that's where I was. But before that moment, before I made that decision, I was living a life of stress and frustration and burnout. I was trying so hard to hustle to make my business work alongside of my full-time career. And my natural tendency, because I'm a high achiever, like any other high achievers out there, am I just the only one here, right? Like, I just like, okay, well, I just need to work harder. I just need to put in more hours. Maybe I just need to hire this next coach or try this next funnel that's going to change everything. Maybe this Facebook ad will be the answer to my prayers, right? And I was trying so hard to do all of the things. And I would hire different things, and I'd get into challenges and master classes, and I'd have conversations with people. And you guys, like, all it did was make me overwhelmed. And it made me feel like I was a failure. And it made me feel tired. And I started my business, guys, because I saw the and life. I saw the potential to be challenged and fulfilled and be a more present mom and wife, but that wasn't happening. I felt like I was on my phone all the time. I felt like all the weekends and the nights and the coffee breaks at work were spent hustling, and I was tired. And I started to doubt myself, and I started to doubt whether or not I had what it took. I started to doubt whether it was worth it. I started to doubt whether or not I was hearing God right. And it took me getting super courageous and opening my eyes to start seeing what I had been missing and start seeing the answers that God was trying to put in front of me materialize into my consciousness and my awareness. And once I started to recognize the things that I was missing, the crazy thing is that I was seeing it now everywhere. I was hearing it in conversations that I had. I was hearing it in client calls. I was seeing it in social media. I was hearing it in conversations with experts. And that, my friends, is what I want to talk to you about this week. I want to talk to you about the things that I knew I was missing, that was holding me back. And once I figured it out, it led me to make that courageous decision to leave my career and go full force into my dreams. And I got to tell you guys, like, it's blowing my freaking mind what has happened since I made that decision. Like, I'm talking hosting out of this world luxury retreats. I'm talking being on bigger stages than I've ever dreamed of. I'm talking about, honestly, writing my book in 6 days. Like, who does that? But it was all God's timing. But none of that could have happened if I was still stuck in the hustle. None of that could have happened if I was still stuck in the doubt and the overwhelm and the burnout. How many of you guys want to get a hold of your life back? How many of you guys want to? And I want to see in the comments. I want to see in your emojis. I want to hear from you. How many of you would love to start designing your life and allowing your business to be a huge part in your life by design? That challenge and that fulfillment, what's fun to prove what you're capable of, but also having time to travel the world or spend time with your family or get a good night's sleep for goodness sakes, right? How many of you guys are ready for better? Because that was me. And so I'm going to start this out by just giving you guys some truth wrapped in a hug, all right? The reality is that it's going to take you getting really intimate with who you are, really intimate with who God says you are, and start to recognize what you want, who you are, and how you uniquely are ready to serve in this world for this beautiful domino to start to fall, to be able to unlock the next thing that's going to change your life forever. So tonight, grab your workbooks, grab your pen and paper if you haven't already. Let's dive into mistake number one. Mistake number one. And that is, friends, you're lacking clarity. You're lacking clarity. How many of you guys feel overwhelmed? Just tell me in the comments. Raise your hands. Do all the things. Give me some hearts. How many of you feel like you just keep searching for the answers? You buy the books, you listen to the podcasts, you sign up for the challenges, and you sign up for the master classes, and you do all the things. And honestly, it's just overwhelmed you. And you have so many options that you don't even know which one to do yet. Yeah, that happened to me too, especially when I got desperate, especially when I was like, oh, I want to build this so much faster so I can leave my job. But here's the truth in a hug, guys. You already know what to do. You already know what to do. We just need to get rid of all of the BS that's holding you back. God is not a God of confusion, friends. And the closer that you get to your ultimate purpose, your divine purpose, the harder the enemy is going to try to derail you. The harder the enemy is going to try to confuse you and to get you stuck into this like never-ending spiral of bing, 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 all the things on the to-do list and nothing's really grabbing any traction. You have to recognize that God is not the God of confusion and that we are going to tackle the number one mistake, which is lacking clarity tonight. Okay. So the first thing that you can fill out in your workbook is you must know, number one, who you are. And if Jamie, if you could just put that in if the answers in the comments, that would be really helpful for our audience here right inside the Better Clip. And you need to know who you serve to be effective. Who you are and who you serve. If you don't know who you are, if you don't understand what your unique strengths and passions, that's the next blank. If you don't know your strengths and passion and are using them as clues to know what sets you apart in the marketplace, you're at a disadvantage. So you have to be able to dig deep and you have to spend some time with yourself and you have to use some of the tools that I have used in the past that allow you to start to learn who you are, what makes you special, what makes you unique. Each one of us have been given a very unique set of experiences, relationships, skills, and strengths in order to show up for our divine purpose. What are yours? What do you love to do? What lights you up? Discover that. Because friend, that's going to help you stand out in the marketplace. Not only does clarity help you attract your dream clients, but it also helps you to establish your dream life. So many of us get stuck in the day-to-day of being in our business instead of working on our business. We are in the maze instead of looking at the maze. And what happens when we do that is all of a sudden we become the tail wagging the dog. We get so caught up in our to-do list that we forget to know where we're going. And all of a sudden, our days are 12, 14-hour days, 7 days a week. We thought we were going to go from 9 to 5, and now we're at 24/7. We're tired, we're burnt out, we're overwhelmed. We don't ever get time off. Maternity leave, what's that? If you don't know what it is that you want to do, if you don't get clear on what your dream life looks like, then you can't design your business to fit that. I don't want you to be stuck in overwhelm. I don't want you to be stuck in burnout, guys. But when you know the life that you want, you can reverse engineer and design your business to fit that life. That maybe means that you're in network marketing and you just recognize what kind of goal set you need and how you can automate your processes so that your team is able to function without you being a touch point for every single thing, right? Maybe it means that in addition to your network marketing business, you bring on affiliate programs where you can earn extra money, or maybe you bring on a part of coaching because you recognize that you're really, really good at one particular thing. Or maybe you can freelance or do this. There's so many different ways. But what we have to do is we have to recognize what is the dream life that we want. And then we build our business around it. our program, our services? What are you charging? How many clients could you take if you had your dream schedule? And how many of those clients are willing to pay what you need them to pay in order for you to have your dream schedule? Knowing what you want is going to help you design your life and your business in order for you to get there. That's another part of clarity that's super important. And so the workbook should say, knowing this about yourself will help you effectively reverse engineer your business with intention. Reverse engineer your business with intention. Now, in order for you to be able to do this, right? So like, all right, let's just say that you've taken my advice and you've gotten clear. You know the kind of life that you want. You know what kind of schedule you want. You know what kind of mom you want to be. You know what kind of vacation schedule you want, right? And you got really clear on your programs and how much you should be charging and how many clients you can actually take and how to diversify your income so that you can have passive streams coming in or leveraging different skill sets that you have, right? And you've gotten really clear on what sets you out in the marketplace. And you start to get really super clear on who it is that you serve. The next thing that you have to also be clear on, you guys, is your brand. What is your brand? Your brand is literally the representation that other people see all of your messaging, all of your aesthetics, and what their interpretation of you is by being exposed to that. How does your brand make them feel? If your brand does not have cohesiveness with color or with messaging, intentionality, if you don't even know like who that client is that you really want to work with, you don't know really what your program should look like, you don't really know what makes you stand apart, and then you don't have very clear, aesthetics and everything else, like people are just going to be confused. And then they're just going to pass right past you because they don't even know what it is that you offer. Or you're not coming across as professional enough that they don't trust that you actually can be the guide to help them. So your brand is a reflection of clarity that the audience sees, and it serves as a bridge between you and your ideal client. I love branding. I love marketing, all of the fun things, because it's so much fun for me to create that bridge. I love connecting people. And so when I get to make pretty things connect with the right people to serve them, like that just blows my mind. So much fun, right? And so our brand gives us the opportunity to show up consistently. And our brand allows for people to feel what it's like to be in our world. And our brand allows for people to get to know us better, to get to know, like, and trust us. And it's so much fun. But again, our brand also has to have that clarity. We have to tie everything into what I just mentioned. So if you go back and you watch my stuff, you're going to notice a couple of things. You're going to notice that I have very cohesive color scheme, right? Because people are going to scroll and they're going to recognize, they're going to see, oh, that I recognize that pink, that's Lachelle. And they're going to stop because they recognize that they like my stuff, right? They're also going to see that I'm tying in what's resonating with my ideal clients. Who's my ideal client, guys? It's people that were me a couple of years ago. They're people like me who are struggling with their business. They know that they're made for more, but they have a big impact to make and they're stuck. They're stuck in doubt. They're stuck in overwhelm. They're not making as fast a success as they wanted. And I show them through my branding, through my messaging, what it's like now that I made the decision to leave my 20-year anesthesia career. What is it like now to have my dream schedule where I can pick up for 2 weeks and travel the country with my kids and be a more present mom? I'm showing them what it's like to make an impact because my ideal people are impact driven. So we have to know who our ideal client is so that we can speak a brand message that speaks directly to what our client wants and needs. Everything that you say in your messaging is like it's talking to one person sitting across from you at a coffee table. And the two of you are like besties. They get you, you get them, but they're a few steps behind you. And you're like, hey, sis, like, I got you. And you grab them by the arm and you're like, hey, this is what I had and this is what it worked. And hey, I see you. This is how I felt too. If you can get your message to speak to that person, guys, they're going to notice. And that know, like, and trust factor is going to be escalated. But if you don't know, then that message is going to kind of go out and speak to no one. Now, the other thing that I like to mention to people, because I think this gets a little frustrating for us business owners, especially if we're in the space where we're working our full-time jobs. We are trying to build our business. We want it so much to replace our income. We're juggling the family. We're juggling self-care. We're juggling all the things. And it's like, Lachelle, I cannot be on TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all the things. Like, it is so overwhelming. And I am going to just take this confusion and this overwhelm off the table right now. God is not the God of confusion. Ask yourself, your ideal person, that person that wants and needs what I have, where are they hanging out? Where are they hanging out? If my people are mostly hanging out on Facebook, then guess what? I'm going to learn that platform inside and out. I'm going to crush the Facebook. And then once I get a chance to, like, start learning another one, that I can. Or maybe, and we're going to get to this in day 3, maybe I can leverage automation and streamline my process so that I get to do something once and it touches all of these other platforms like I'm doing tonight. But do not stress. Ask yourself, where is my ideal person? Where are they hanging out? What is keeping them up at night? Why do they need what I have? Why is now the time? And once you can figure that out, you guys, you can speak to that person. They're going to see it. They're going to feel it. They're going to hear it. They're going to want to have a conversation. But if you don't know, then that's not going to happen. Aligning all aspects of your message will facilitate faster results. What does that mean? That means that everything that I do has to be done with intention. Everything that I do is going to be leveraging what my strengths are and my passions are and what makes me stand on the market, what's my zone of genius. It's going to be considering my dream life, right? My life too. But most importantly, how can I best serve my ideal person? How can I best serve them? And when I get that super, super clear idea of what that person needs, what they're struggling with, what they want, then I make sure that everything lines up. That's how you can get efficient and effective. When my website matches my social media, which matches my landing pages from my lead magnets, everything in my funnel is completely addressed to that one person. Now, if you're sitting here and you're like, Lachelle, you just said a whole bunch of words that I don't even know what any of them are. Like, don't worry. Don't worry, because I didn't either. Especially when I started out in network marketing. That was how I got started in my online businesses. And so don't stress about it, because I'm going to teach you what you need to know about all of those things. But the most important lesson that I want you to get right now is that all of them need to match. They all need to have this very thoughtful intention so that you are not spinning your wheels and that you are speaking to the person with everything that you're doing. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of encouragement, okay? Because there are some people, you guys, that are in your audience, and they might look like they have all the things that would check off for your ideal client. But sometimes when we've been working our business as long as we have, we're not seeing the results that we want fast enough. It's really easy for us to start doubting ourselves. It's really easy to start questioning whether or not we have what it takes or whether we're doing it right. And I want to just make sure that I remind us, because again, God is not the God of confusion. If you feel like you are doing everything that I've mentioned, I'm going to give you encouragement, because your ideal client has 4 things. Number 1, they have the problem that you solve, okay? Number 2, they have the desire to solve the problem. You guys, if I'm 15 pounds overweight, but I could care less, then I don't have the desire. If I am perfectly content, like let's say I'm broke, like let's say I cannot afford my daughter's gymnastics, but I don't have the desire to do anything about it. I'm like, she doesn't have to go anyway, then I'm not your ideal client. So many people see that people have a problem and they just assume that they're going to want exactly what we have. And then we feel like we're a dumb failure because they don't buy what it is that we want or want to work with us. They have to have the desire, friends. They also have to have an alignment. Number 3 is alignment with your solution. So if your solution is skincare, but it is clinical skincare and your ideal or the person that you're talking to is only wants natural skincare, then that is not a solution that's in alignment with them. Maybe your fitness program is 100% based on exercise, but your client really wants something that focuses on eating and exercising. You have to make sure that your solution is in alignment with who they are and what they want. And then the 4th thing, and this is huge, because if you have people that you've been talking to and they haven't decided yet that they're ready to work with you, number 4 says they have the urgency and the funds to do something about it. They have to have the urgency and the funds to do something about it. It's like one of those things where you wake up and you're like, I need this now, today. So maybe you guys are listening to me right now and you're like, Lachelle, I've been busting my butt in my business for 5 years. I'm not where I want to be. I am so freaking over this. I am ready. Like I cannot get to this point at this time in 2024 and things be the same. I don't even want Christmas to be the same. I want my life to be drastically different by this time in next year or by December 1st. That's how you know there's an urgency. But they have to have the funds to do something about it. Now, this is the thing, guys. Do not get this one confused with, how can I put this? They have to have the willingness to get the funds to do something about it. So oftentimes I think that we hold ourselves back because of like, I have this really great skincare, but it's a little bit pricey for this person. Let me tell you that if your daughter wakes up with acne all over her face, you don't freaking care how much it costs. You figure out what you can sell at the garage sale or on Facebook, right? You wake up and you're like, okay, I know that my business needs X, and once I tackle X, everything else is going to fall into place, but I don't have the funds for it. So you get a business credit card and put on business credit for free financing for 18 months. Or you sell something, or you pick up a job because it's that important to you. So don't confuse with somebody that looks from the outside like they don't have the money, because if people want it badly enough, if everything else is lining up, the problem you solve, the desire to solve the problem, the alignment with your solution, and the urgency, they will freaking figure it out. So do not put your money mindset and project it onto them, okay? That's my 2 cents on that, because money mindset is something that I see a lot. And one of my giftings, one of my strengths that we talked about is recognizing people's blind spots, recognizing that there's some things that are holding us back over and over again that we keep butting up against that we don't even realize. And that's one of mine. So money mindset's huge. So do not let this one hold you back, okay? Now your funnel, that's the next answer. Your funnel allows you to serve people who are along your ideal spectrum, but perhaps not 100% ready. So what is the funnel? For those of you guys who don't know, it's the journey that your client that you take the client on. It's maybe that you can bring someone into your funnel, which means that you basically invite them to your journey. Okay. And maybe you get them into part of your journey that gives them a free offer, because maybe that's where they're at. You guys are here. It's free. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of my funnel, right? So I can connect with the right people. And then maybe I can give you something that's $27 because that's where you are right now. And you continue to make yourself offering people to your ideal client so that you're serving them in ways until they're ready to take the next step in that journey, which is maybe mean the next product that you have or the next service that you offer. So making sure that your funnels are designed to not just shut everybody out, make sure that they're designed to bring your ideal clients into your world and then nurture them and educate them and encourage them and support them along the way, along that journey until they're ready, till all of the check boxes that I just talked about have been checked off and they're ready to take that next step with you. So lastly, your lead magnets, landing and sales pages, email nurture, social media, your website, all must speak to that client. And this is the last piece of clarity that I want to mention before I actually introduce you to one of my great friends. And then I have a just killer announcement for your homework and everything. So this is awesome. But I want to just make sure that you mention that I mentioned that I want you to, when you're thinking of your ideal client, I want you to think about like every checkbox is marked off, right? It's not the person that can't afford it. It's the person who can. Because what happens is when we talk up to the person, it's going to inspire them to where they want to be. And so it's okay that you are literally, it's like you're talking to one person across the table having coffee, and they are exactly where you want to work, who you want to work with. And they're exactly where they want to be. And you speak to that part of them and allow everything that you do, all your funnels, all your lead magnets, everything to talk to that person at that level. And everything else is going to fall into place because they're going to aspire to that. Okay. So don't let that confusion get in your way as well. Okay. So I am going to, I'm going to welcome my sweet friend, Noelle, into the conversation. Girlfriend, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. She's been patiently waiting in the background because she knows that I can talk. Right, girl?
I love it.
She's been listening to me jabber on for years now. And I just like, I'm so grateful. I'm like, hey, just so you know, right? Like you're towards the end of this. And so just so you know, you might be waiting in the background.
It's all good. It's all good.
So you guys, I have some really incredible announcements that are going to be coming up. And Noelle actually doesn't even know anything about these. So I kind of thought it'd be really fun to do these announcements with Noelle here. But Noelle, why don't you, first of all, tell us a little bit about who you are and who you help, because this is amazing that I get a chance to share you with my entire audience right now.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. So yes, I'm Noelle Custis, and I am out in Southern California. I am a wife and a mom of two. One of my kiddos is in college, and the other one is going to be heading into high school. So I still feel like we have this full plate going on at home with that. But I am also a retired teacher, and everyone asks me, oh, what does it feel like to be retired? And I say, well, I'm not really retired. I retired from that profession, but I moved into teaching on a whole different level. And so I taught for 24 years, and now I have my own business, which is so surreal, even just to be able to still say that out loud. I am the founder and heartbeat behind Rise to Shine Co. And this is a space where I am really passionate about empowering women to just really shine from the inside out, because I do believe with all of my heart that every woman deserves to sparkle. And I do that through being a jewelry stylist and then also as a certified transformational coach. So it's really helping women discover their purpose and embrace their individuality and equip them to step boldly into a life that they don't feel stuck anymore. So that is what I get to do.
And, I think that the reason that I have goosebumps whenever I hear you say that is because when we first we're talking at the retreat that you came to. So we had a retreat in Alabama last September. And one of the first activities we had was introducing ourselves as our future versions of ourselves. And how was that for you?
Oh, it was super awkward. I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah, right. And it's like, now you're just like, this is who I am. And like, I love it so much. And I've seen such an amazing, like in my words, quantum leap with you and everything that you are doing. And one of the things that I always have had so much fun working with you is that you came to me because you had this amazing jewelry business that you were running. So it was a direct sales business. And you were like, I really want to grow this. And I'm like, let's do it. And then you're like, and I also have this passion for, feel like there's something missing. Tell me a little bit about that and how the two of them kind of merged together.
Yeah, so that is exactly right. During the pandemic is when I really started gaining some clarity. I think it was just really being in a space of having the time to think about what my life looked like at the time,
Yep.
how it was feeling for me on the inside, and how I was going to move forward. And I had, during that time where I was teaching from home, I had been introduced to my jewelry business that I currently have. And I loved it. I loved just making women happy and just really collaborating with women and seeing them smile and just bringing joy to women. It was something that really lit me up. And so fast forward, I decided, which is a whole nother conversation, but decided to take a huge leap of faith, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And with a lot of encouragement from my husband, who just had total belief in me.
Yeah.
And he said, let's give it a go. And so I always knew in my heart that it wasn't just going to be jewelry. There was a pull inside of me going, people would ask me, well, what are you going to do now? And, I said, well, I know I'm going to definitely be doing this jewelry business. However, I know that it's more than jewelry. There's something else brewing. I just really don't know what it is. And I leaned on my faith, and I leaned on some of the practices that you had been teaching me through some different things that I had been invested in, a lot of self-growth. And through that, it was just like God just started breathing life into me of, there is something more. And there was a lot of confirmation. I ended up taking, the funny thing is I ended up taking a coaching program to get certified, but it really wasn't even at that time to be a transformational coach. It was really more about, I wanted to learn more skills in leadership and just being able to grow and help other women grow. And then, of course, it just completely, I had a transformation that I was not expecting. And so then everything just kind of came together beautifully.
I just did that. And I think back, we've had so many conversations. We've worked together very closely over the last almost year. So many conversations. So if you could think about, where you've been most stuck, and some wins, I would love to hear.
Yeah. Well, I definitely would say that fear of judgment, fear of like leaving my identity of who I knew myself to be and who I felt like everybody else knew me to be, And so there was this fear of transitioning into what I like to call her, I was stepping into this space of, I had always had a vision that I was meant for more, but I really, truly didn't know what that path was going to be for me.
Right. Yeah.
So there was certainly that fear. And I feel like the win that has come from all of this and the experience that I've had with working with you, and I know we'll probably get into that a little bit more, but finally being able to really lean in on my core values and what drives me, that is what just helped me to overcome this fear, that it was no longer about this like old identity. It was about building this confidence that this is truly who I am meant to be. And it's just a different season in my life. And I loved that season, but now I'm in a different space. But it took a lot of reprogramming my mindset. Like there was a lot of work that I needed to do to kind of, grow in that area to where I could speak differently. I could speak to myself differently. That's a huge win for me. Like you said, when you had said, okay, I want you to introduce yourselves, when we first were at the retreat, my heart was pounding out of my chest and I just didn't even know what to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, learning those tools, I think, were such a huge gift for me. And then I know you were speaking of money mindset. That has been something really big. There's a fear of that. I was leaving a position, and not everybody's transformation is leaving a job per se, but for me, leaving a position where I had an amazing income and benefits and retirement and all of the things. So there was a lot of, I didn't realize how my relationship with money was. So there's been a lot of wins in that area as well.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I think is so interesting, Noelle, is that like I didn't know what you were gonna say, right? Because because I just love your energy. So I'm like, let's just break this up so people don't have to hear me so much before I make these announcements and talk about homework. And you're like, yeah, it's the belief and it's the mindset and all this stuff. But like, you wanted clarity. You're like, I don't even know what I should do. And we talked and we invented this program that you're doing, but it was the little things like, how do I create a lead magnet? How do I do a funnel? How do I, do my social media strategy? How do I, whatever? And it's like, it's so interesting to me because like, you don't even mention that stuff. And that's what you wanted. But the cool thing is that like you get more than just the how-tos. And that's what I'm like, so thanks for like showing such a
well, going back to that, that's so funny that you say that, because originally how I was introduced to you is because I literally knew nothing about how to put myself out there on social media. Like that was even terrifying to me. I always, this is why I say never, because those of us that are like, oh, I will never do that. Well, here I am. And if you would have told me that I would be living on, a social media platform that has helped to grow my business and like branding, I didn't even know what that meant. I mean, I would see pretty aesthetics and I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like I always thought it was so adorable, but I didn't know any of that. Funnels, when that word was mentioned to me, I was like, what are we talking about here? So yes, all of those details. And I love to mention this fact, Lachelle, because this is really the honest truth, is I kept thinking about, I knew that I was moving in a direction that I wanted to start something and that I was meant for more. And I could feel all of that bubbling in my heart.
Yeah.
But like you said, I had no idea where to even start. Yeah. And so I'll never forget, I just kept thinking in my mind, if I could just figure out how to put all these pieces together, like, and I don't even know what those pieces are, quite frankly. Like, I just know that there's pieces, there's something I've got to do to put together to even like push this out there. And we were sitting together at that retreat by ourselves, just having a conversation. And you said, I want to like let you in on something new that I'm working on. It's very like rough draft, it's just like, your brain is always going and you are brilliant in my mind. Just always have these great ideas. You just briefly like had me glance at some of the things that you were putting together. And I will never forget that feeling of literally getting chills from my head to my toes and just going, oh my gosh, this is the answer to my prayers. This is exactly what in my mind I was thinking, but like on steroids, it was just like even more than what I had even imagined. But it was like, oh my gosh, this is something that I feel like would just take so much stress off of me trying to figure it all out. Mm-hmm. And then B, just being able to move. Like I felt like, this is a way that I could actually move instead of sitting here trying to do all the research by myself, trying to figure it all out, because that was becoming my frustration. I was like, I keep trying to figure this out on my own. And I feel like I'm just like spinning in circles, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that is like such a perfect segue into what I want to tell you about Noelle. And I want to tell the rest of you guys all of this. So I listen, and I'm like Noelle said, my brain is constantly going, and I'm always thinking about how can I serve people in the next best way. And one of the things that you just mentioned is the power of who, right? I found this to be true over and over and over again. You can have a 9-minute conversation with someone and learn exactly what to do and what not to do. That would save you 9 months or 9 years of trying to figure it out on YouTube or on Google, right? And it's everything from like, how do I do it to how do I actually implement it? Like the first time that you did your lead magnet, like all of the pieces that went with that, like if you would have had to figure that out on your own, like how long would have that taken you?
A very long time.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't even imagine.
That all of us just want to expedite. We want to expedite results. We want to just, we have this like feeling in our gut that we're made for more, and we're done pissing around, right? Like for real. And so I've been listening to you, and I have decided, Noelle, that I am going to put together and it is ready to go, something called Spiral Up. Okay. So I can't wait for you to hear all the details, and you guys like just listen to this. Okay. Based on everything, Noelle, and other clients that I've had and things that I've seen in the marketplace, I have introduced something that is going to help you spiral up. Now, one of the things that I've recognized that as an entrepreneur, it's really easy. And Noelle, you can relate to this because of conversations that we've had. It's really easy to spiral down. It's really easy to see something on social media and compare ourselves. It's really easy to get overwhelmed and frustrated with technology. It's really easy to not see results fast enough and literally get into the negative self-talk that spirals us downward. And it slows our progress, it slows our impact, and it makes us want to quit. And that's not what God wants us to do. Am I right?
Yes.
So what I want to do is I wanted to put together a resource, a community of people and tools to help all of us spiral up. What that means is that we're going to level up consistently, but we're going to allow for the momentum of the people around us to continually lift us up as well. And so not only are people going to get access to one-on-one coaching with me, just like you have, but they're also, this is where I get goosebumpy, they're also going to get access to a catalog of amazing industry experts. So as you mentioned, like my programs, I'm kind of a girl who wears like a gazillion hats. Like I can do all of it. But what if I was able to concentrate on my genius, which is putting pieces of the puzzle together, finding blind spots, and helping people build belief in themselves? And I can allow other people to focus on their zone of genius, like copywriting, their zone of genius, like funnel creation, their zone of genius, like writing a book or starting a podcast, or maybe it's launching a program. All of those things that I love to do, but I think other people can also like their zone of genius fills in. What I'm going to have you guys do is have access to me for one-on-one coaching. You get access to group coaching so that we can problem solve together. But two of my most favorite parts of this is a mastermind where we have a breakthrough where if you can bring in a place that you're stuck, and together collectively with our conscious, not only with the other participants in the program, but all the experts are invited as well to help each of us mastermind things that we're stuck and help us to gain massive, fast, transformational breakthroughs. Amazing mastermind experience. And then everybody gets a chance to pick an expert from the group to have a one-on-one conversation every single month.
Wow.
So if you're like, hey, Lachelle, I really just want to tackle copywriting like a pro. Okay, awesome. I'm going to hook you up with so-and-so and you guys can meet for an hour this month. How cool is that?
Love it.
So everything that you need to spiral up, everything that you need from networking, collaboration, coaching, expert consulting, community is in one freaking place. Like how fun is that?
So great and so needed. I mean, it's just, yes, it's awesome. I'm so excited.
And I decided because, just talking to you, I had another idea in mind, but tonight I think this is what I'm going to do, you guys. So for 24 hours, so between now and 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night, I am going to give you guys the opportunity. If this is something that you are interested in, I want you to type in Spiral Up in the comments, and I will send you the link for information so that you can learn more about this. If this is something that you decide to do, you're like, I am freaking ready. I'm stop messing around. I want to do this faster. I want to expose myself to all the things that you just said. I am going to give you a free 2-hour strategy session where I can take a look at all of your pieces of the puzzle and figure out what you're missing and what you need to do. And I don't do that. I don't do that, you guys. So it's something that I'm going to offer every single person that signs up for this and inquires about this by tomorrow night, so that we can get you into action. So how fun is that? Because that was a huge thing for you. Like, that just popped into my head right now. So that's what I'm going to offer.
That is awesome. I'm like, okay, guys, you got to take her up on this. This is huge. This is huge. What you would get in 2 hours even. Like, I just think of the time that we have spent together and what we are able to like conquer and get through in, 30 minutes, an hour. I mean, 2 hours is seriously incredible. And I really had no idea about any of this.
I know. Because you've been excited. And I'm like, Noelle, I'm going to do something with groups. I'm just, I'm working out the details, and you've been patiently waiting for me. So I know that this is something that you've been wanting. And I am so excited that I get a chance to announce it with you, because you guys, like, I get goosebumps. Like, I don't know who I'm more excited to serve, the experts or the people who are receiving the expert, I'm so excited for this. So make sure that you put Spiral Up in the comments if you want to learn the details, because I do not want you to miss out on that. Okay. Noelle, sweetheart, I am going to be going over homework and their prize for completing their homework. You're welcome to stay on, or you're welcome to dodge out, because I know you're a busy lady. But you and I have a conversation right after this about something that you have going on. So just know that I'm ready for you in just a couple minutes. Okay.
Sounds great. Okay. You guys have fun. Thanks, Lachelle.
Okay, you guys. So I am all about just recognizing the desire that you want in your heart. I'm all about getting you guys to, let's see. There we go. I think we're close here. Here we go. Remove. Okay. We're all about recognizing the desire that God has in your heart. I'm all about getting you to make the decision to own it. And then I'm all about helping you get into action. So I have homework that's going to help you to move to the next space in your business, to help you move to the next level of this. It's not overwhelming homework, but it's enough just to kind of keep you in momentum, because we want to spiral up, right? Okay. Now, for those of you guys who complete your homework, this is what I want you to do. There is going to be a homework post inside of the Better Club where you can just type in done. If you want to type in something that you gained from it, that's even better, because I love just like hearing how impactful this is. But in the homework comment, that's where you're going to go. And from that homework comment, that's where I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick a winner. The winner is going to get a signed copy and a little extra special gift that's going to be a surprise in the mail from me of the book that I wrote this year. It's called Get Out of God's Way. And it's get over yourself and step into the beautiful purpose he has for your life and your business. This is literally like everything that I've worked on for the last 20 some years. That is going to change your life. And so I just want you guys to know that I want to get rid of all of your excuses. I want to get rid of all of your barriers, and I want to give you a signed personal copy and a little extra gift from me. But you have to get your homework done. And I'm going to pick from that group of people who comment in the homework post in order to send this out. And I'll announce that tomorrow night. Okay. So what is the homework? The homework is, I want you to make a list of 3 people that come to you. Make a list of 3 things people come to you for help. And this is really just like, what do people come to you for advice? What do people come to you for extra support? And if you have no idea, ask your family, ask your spouse, ask your kids, ask your bestie. And even like, it's okay, do this. Like, hey, I have a homework assignment, guys, on Facebook or whatever, Instagram stories, and say, I I need to fill this out. If you were to come to me for advice, what would that be around? Or if you could spend an hour with me, what would you want to talk about? Right? And that is going to help you get really clear on what makes you stand out in the market. It's going to help you recognize that that's probably a passion that you have. And it's also going to help you recognize your strengths, because what I want you to do is get clear on what makes you special and how you can start leveraging that expertise in your business or as an additional stream of income, and how we can take that piece of the puzzle and bring it in together. Okay. The other thing that I want you to do, this is a fun one, is I want you to think about if you could wake up tomorrow and do anything, anywhere with anyone, what would you do? Okay. What would you do? For me, honestly, it was speaking on a stage in front of thousands of people with the message that life can be even way better than what you think it could be, as long as you can willing to trust God and do what he's asking you to do. And I got to do that. And that's what I want to do, like, over and over again. And in my vision, like, I see my family, they're there, we're traveling, we're at the beach, like all the cool things. And so what would you do? Because that's going to be a direction in what your business should do and how your life could be designed to make that happen. Okay. And then lastly, this is also the fun one, is that I just want you to tag me in Facebook and Instagram stories. Tell me what you would do if you could do anything. This is just a really fun, like, hey, I would be traveling the world. I would be on a road trip with my family. I would be, singing for sold out audiences, like whatever it is. I want you to say what you would do if you could do anything and tag me in it. That is part of your homework. So if you guys do all three of those things and comment in the homework section of the Facebook group that you did it, you will be in the drawing for this book. So I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. I cannot wait to see you guys here inside the Better Club at 7 p.m. Central tomorrow night, where we're going to talk about mistake number 2. And don't stress, this is going to be available in the replays until Monday, but be there, be on it. Get your homework done, do all the things, because that's where the fun part is, right? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you guys all here tomorrow night. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tell me if you're here live, if you're here catching the replay, and invite your friends, guys. Tag people. You just have to put the @ symbol and their name to invite them into this. Get the word out. If you think that there's somebody in your life that has this big audacious dream, but they're just not getting there fast enough, let's figure out why. Let's figure out the 3 things that are holding them back from their 6 and 7 figure business, and let's do it together. All right, you guys, have a great night. Bye.